Hi and welcome to the channel. I am Richard Genders and you are watching Genders Gaming, a channel dedicated to analog games. And today I am going to show you Panorama. This game is 1 to 6 players and it's about you constructing a little pretty panorama picture. This game is from Sparkworks and I am going to show you the setup of this game. I'm going to show you how the game works and how to play it. So once you watch this video, you are ready to build your own panorama. So let's just take a look at it. This is the setup of the game for 4 players, 5 or 6. But if you play 2 or 1 player, the setup is going to look a little bit different. In a 4-player game, we need to remove all of the cards that has 5 or 6 in the bottom right corner. If this would have been a 5-player game, we would have used the cards with a 5 on them, and if it was a 6-player game, we would have used all cards. These cards goes back into the box if not used. Then we take the award tokens, looking like this, and shuffle them face down. We randomly pick 4 award tokens and put them face up in the center of the playing area. Whoever encountered a wild animal last gets the first player token. Panorama is played out during 2 different phases. It starts with the dusk phase, and then we use the dusk cards looking like this. Once we have gone through the dusk phase and played that to the finish, we do the setup again, but then we use the dawn phase cards instead. The game is about each player building panoramas, and we do this between the different players, meaning that we will build 2 different panoramas, together with the players next to us. And at the end of the game, we will score from both panoramas. But how do you actually build a panorama? The first thing that happens in this game is that each player simultaneously look at their cards that they have in front of them. And then they get to choose one of those cards. Once they have chosen a card that they think will fit in their future panorama, they take it and place it face down in front of them. Now they wait until all the other players have done the same thing. When everyone is done with choosing their card and have put it face down in front of them, it's time to reveal the cards, starting with the first player. So the first player takes their card that they have chosen and put it down, either on their right side or on their left side. Now this is the first card in this diorama, so you can place it anywhere. But now the second player to the left get to place their card as well. And again, they can choose if they want to put it to their right or to their left. But if they want to put it next to the card that I have placed, they need to fit together. So to be able to actually place cards next to each other, the background needs to fit together. Here we can see that the outline of the mountains fit together, so this is a correct placement. But this here, for example, would be wrong, because, well, you're missing a side of the mountain, so you would not be able to place this card here. If you can place a card, you need to place it. Even if you feel like it's not beneficial for you, you still need to place the card where it fits. But what if there's no place for you to place your card? Maybe it doesn't fit anywhere. Well, then you need to put it face down on either side of the cards that are faced up. You can put the face down card next to any face up card. That doesn't matter. Just like any card can be placed next to a face down card as well. The same thing there, it doesn't matter. You can just keep on playing. Once every player have put down their card, either to the left or to the right, face up or face down, it's time for us to pass on our deck. We will pass the deck to the player on our left. Then that player will pass their cards to their player on their left until you get a new deck from the right. The first player also needs to pass on their first player token to the left, meaning that in the next round now, this player is the first player and gets to go first. And now you have a new deck on your hand to place out during your next turn. When everyone have placed out all of their cards and there's no cards left, that is the end of the dusk phase. Now, we would do the exact same thing with the dawn phase, but we would save these panoramas to the side because we're going to score them later. So now we would set up the dusk phase, shuffle all the cards, put out new award tokens in the middle of the table, and start the dawn phase instead. Once the dawn phase have finished and we have placed all of those cards out, it's time for us to put together the scores that we have received. Depending on how you have placed your cards, you will get different scores. These orange ones here represent wildlife, and you will get 6 points for each panorama where every card has an animal. So, not in this case. This one here represents the northern lights, and you scored 3 points for each pair of northern lights that you have in your panorama. But if this card here would have been connected to another northern light, you would get a +3 per connected card. But here we only have one, so you do not get the bonus. This one here represents a cliff, and as you can see here, you get a -2 if you would have had an animal card to the left of the cliff. But if you would have had a green card, meaning a feature card, to the right, you would have received +3 points for this one. But in this case, nothing happens. Here we can see that we have animal cards, and here you would have received +2 points if you had an orange to the left or to the right of this card. If you had animal cards on both sides, you would have gotten a total of 4 points. Some cards, like the forest here, do not score points in themselves, but in combination with other cards, they will let you score points. There are many different ways of you scoring points in this game, and I'm not gonna go through them all here, but it's a good idea if before you play the game, the players actually go through these so they understand how the scoring works and how they should think when they place their cards, because it makes a big difference. I mean, if you do not know what you will actually score from, you are just randomly placing out cards and probably gonna end up with nothing in the end of the game. Besides the panoramas themselves, we also need to look at the award tokens to see if we score anything from these. And again, there are a lot of different ways for you to get awards. For example, here, if you have the most foxes in your panorama, well, you would score 5 points. If you have no duplicates, you will score 6, and so on. If there's ever a tie for the award tokens in the middle, both players will actually get the points, which I think is just a nice little feature. Nobody gets sad and everybody's happy. And once you have calculated together all the scores, well, you have a winner. And that's how you play the game. It's quite simple. You get the cards on your hand, you place them out to your right or to your left according to the pattern on the cards. If you can't place it, well, then you just put it face down next to either panoramas. It doesn't matter which one. You play through the dusk phase and then you do the setup and everything again for the dawn phase. Play it through and in the end you have a winner. I have to say that this is a nice little game. I did not expect to like it as much as I did. I mean, I usually like these big games with miniatures and dungeons and everything in it, but this is just cards that you place up and you build your own little nice panorama. And it's quite satisfying to see the different cards fitting together, trying to get the best scores. This is a nice little card game for pretty much anyone. I mean, anyone can sit down and play this game quite fast. It says 8 years on the box, but I think that smaller children could manage to do this as well, as long as you help them with the scoring part. The artwork in this game is quite nice. I love the colors, I love the little sceneries, the animals, the way the patterns just flow together in a really nice and well-made way. This game is really beautiful, and the cards are just cool to hold and they have this premium feel to them. It's just really well made. If you have ever seen my videos before, you know that I am a fan of a good box, and this box is just beautiful. It really has a nice color, it has a great feel to it. This is a good little backpack size game as well. And you open it up to the side. And in here you have two different compartments. One for each deck, the Dusk and the Dawn deck, and you have the awards token well fitted in here. So when you close it up, well, it fits in here really nicely, and you really do not need to have any extra things on this one. I mean, there is bags here, and I guess you could put down the award tokens in bags, but other than that, it's just to use the box itself, which I just love. Then we have the little rule book. Quite easy to learn, quite easy to read, I understand, there's pictures, there's not that much to actually say about this. I mean, this is really well written, it's really easy written, it says what all the cards are and what they do. There's really not any questions there. The only thing I'm a little bit hesitant to is the actually scoring points. I mean, you need to know how to score before you start to play this game. So this is actually where I think it will take the most time for new players to get into the game, to understand how you will actually need to put the cards together to make the most out of them in the long run. There you have it, my friend. That was Panorama for you. A nice, easy to learn little game. Easy to bring with you, a good little travel size here. It's easy to set up, it's easy to start playing. Like I told you, it comes down to the score, the point making here, how to make the points, and how to actually learn how to put together the right combination to make the best scores. That is probably the hardest thing about this game. So this game is easy to learn, but it's a little bit hard to master, and it will take you a few times before you get the combinations just the way you would like to. Also, you have the factor that the other players to your left and to your right can mess up your plan quite big. But this was Panorama, 1 to 6 players. If you want to know more about it, check out the links down in the description. If you like what I'm doing here and if you like my channel, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, it really makes a big difference for me, and it gives me a smile on my lips every time I get a new subscriber. Until next time, people, please keep on spreading that board gaming love I know you all have. Peace.